Welcome to my world where all is well. I'm the thinker who thinks the thoughts that create the things. I am also the proud Queen Chief of Three Kings. Today is Tuesday, January the 11th, 2023, and it's currently 10:57 hours in the morning. Happy 7-Eleven. The reason why I come on here is because, as you all know, I don't stay up to date in the news or anything like that. The news can cause anxiety to me at different times. So I was going through my social medias. It's about they got Spill and Threads and Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and YouTube and TikToks and all of that. So anyway, since I'm trying to grow my YouTube channel, they told me I need all those other social medias. So I'm just doing the best I can. But anyway, I found out that a so-called judge in Tulsa, Oklahoma, threw out the Black Wall Street Tulsa Massacre case. From what I would recall, the longest lasting surviving victim of that is 109 years old. She also wrote a book, by the way, called Don't Bury My Story. Don't Bury My Story. I wish I could remember her name. I think it's Viola Ferris. Viola Davis is one of my favorite actresses. That's how I remember her name. But I think it's Viola Ferris. So if you can, please get a copy of that book. But they threw out the case with prejudice, which means that it can't be filed again as far as my understanding goes. But the reason why I want to come on here and talk about it, because it was Black Wall Street. And from what I recall, over 300 lives were taken. A white mob destroyed families, homes, and businesses at Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma. They destroyed generational wealth, opportunities. They destroyed everything. Black people were their own business owners. They owned these businesses, and they white mob destroyed it. I think a white male in Oklahoma said to take race out of the picture, and the story wouldn't be as popular as it is. But you can't take race out of it if the reason for the massacre was because of race. I seriously doubted that this white mob would have destroyed the Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma, if it was all white owned businesses and homes and families. Anyway, but what came to my mind when I found out that the judge threw it out was the Emmett Till case, of course. Now I found out that the white woman who lied on Emmett Till has transitioned. She is no longer physically active, so that's that. Rest in peace to Emmett Till. That's all I got to say about that. So anyway, now, as far as I'm concerned, all of this rioting and destroying businesses started with the white man. When the white man took us from our native land on the continent of Africa. My people happen to be from Benin, and we got Congo, and we did that black ancestry thing. So Benin, Congo, and Tongo, something like that. So, and they brought us over here, stole us from our land, brought us over here, put us in slavery. I say us because I am my ancestors. My ancestors, all of them are with me. So that's why I'm saying us. So I don't want no comment saying I wasn't ever in slavery. I am my ancestors. My ancestors are me. You understand that later. Ask God for clarity. But so my ancestors, who I would not be here if it wasn't for them. So I am them. I'm here because of them. came over here, slaves. Some of I actually got a photo on that black ancestry. My mom showed it to me of one of my ancestors. I think it was my uncle, of the white master. His name was, he was a doctor and a reverend. Alexander Erskine was our ancestors, slave owner, master, whatever you call it. He put out a wanted sign for a runaway Negro, which was my uncle, Isaac Jacob Erskine was his name, the runaway slave, which was interesting because y'all know, most people who know me know my third king. His name is Austin Jacob. Now, before I even knew that I had an uncle who ran away to Chicago or Detroit, I can't remember, from his slave owner master. His name was Isaac Jacob, and we was considering naming Austin Isaac Jacob, but I can't remember the reason why Dimples liked Austin Jacob better. I also liked the Austin Jacob better, but Isaac Jacob was one of those names that we had considered. So it's interesting, when I first saw that, I was like, wow, what a coincidence. And it's also interesting that my mom is a sewer. I don't know what you call it, somebody who sews clothes. I don't know the proper terminology, but she would make clothes for me and my sister and brothers, when we was growing up. And I can't remember her name now, and I just said a few minutes ago. But we have I think it would be our 8th great grandmother, who would literally ride around with the president and visited Spain and different countries, because seamstress, yes, because she was the best and well-known seamstress over there in Africa, and she traveled to Spain and Portugal and different areas. But anyway, so the reason why I'm on here, and I felt compelled to do a video about it because it was on my mind, and the best way to get it out is to journal about it or do a video about it, which is very therapeutic for me. And when they lynched Floyd and they lynched Nichols and so many of our wonderful black brothers and sisters who was executed before ever getting a chance to go to trial or get a hearing, before they was even found guilty of whatever the officer was accusing them of, were executed or lynched, is what I personally like to call it, on sight. And then after that, of course, the protest starts and some of the rioting start, and then you see some of us, I'm still saying us because I am a part of my black brothers and sisters. Some of us start rioting and destroying white-owned property. I have never personally destroyed anybody's property that I can recall. If you know different, put it in the comments. I'm an open book. But and I do not agree with any of my black brothers and sisters destroying anybody's property, whether they're black, white, crippled, gay, or straight, crazy, whatever. I don't believe anybody should ever be destroying anybody's property. But it's interesting to me how white people can get by or even take their case to court saying, hey, this really did happen. We don't care if it happened 100 years, 200 years, or 300 years ago. This happened. And we want some justice, some reparations for it. Now, the Indians, Christopher Columbus, who y'all say discovered something that was already occupied, is amazing to me, but came over here, took the Indians' land. They was able to give the Indians some of their land back. Not all of it. They have some of it back. I think they're happy with their casinos and the money they're making. I'm not sure. I've never talked to a native Indian that I'm aware of. But as far as reparations goes, I don't know if they're happy or satisfied or not. I don't watch the mass media, the mass news anymore. So I don't know. Either way, they did something to try to make peace with the Indians. I don't feel like they've done that for African Americans that I'm aware of. And when we bring our cases to court and then they're taken out of court and they're not allowed to even be filed again, but then you want to lock up and take to court black brothers and sisters who are out here destroying y'all property. Okay, what about the time you destroyed our property? When we had Black Wall Street. Now, Dr. Jamal Bryant of New Missionary Baptist Church, I think he opened up a Black Wall Street out there in Lithonia, what they call it, Stonecrest, Georgia now. So I pray that is successful, and I pray that no angry white mob come and destroy that by taking away any type of property or finances or anything. I pray that it's all black owned. I'm not sure. I have not been out there. I have social anxiety, so I barely go anywhere. But I did just find it interesting that the whole case was thrown out, and then they was told they can't even file it again. It was thrown out with prejudice, and which is amazing to me that they can get by with lying on a little black boy and say he was whistling at a white girl. Execute him. His name was Emmett Till. Then they go to Tulsa, Oklahoma. Execute 300 more people. And not only that, destroy every business and home and property that they own. And get by with it. No consequences that we know of here. Now, I believe that God, I believe in God, and I believe that He will make all things right and all things new again. But according to this so-called criminal justice system that we have here, for this judge to just throw it out with prejudice, and then, God forbid, I hope this never happens again, but I pray that not another one of our black brothers or sisters is lynched or executed by another officer ever again. But if it does happen, and then black brothers and sisters starts to riot and destroy white people property again, I want that same judge to throw that court case out with prejudice. Somehow make it make sense to me, because it's not making sense to me. I mean, I don't understand statute of limitation. If it happened, it happened. I really don't. Now, I can understand statute of limitation when it comes to the value of property crimes, but when you're talking about somebody's life, from what I understand, 300 people lives were taken away. I don't think you can say KILLED on YouTube, but they were unalived. 300 of our black brothers and sisters gone. Nobody's held accountable for it, even when taken to court. But any crime, even when I used to play cops and robbers, I mean, I don't. It's a lot of stuff I do understand. There's a lot of stuff I don't understand. But I pray that these, in the last of she's Viola Ferris, who wrote a book, Don't Let Them Bury My Story. She's 109 years old. 109 years old. I think I can't remember how old she was when this happened. So I don't even want to speculate. But God bless her. God bless her. But you know what? I believe God given her long life for her to see this and for her to know what she's dealing with. And I believe when it comes to her time to transition, she's going to be working on our behalf from the other side, because she knows that this so-called criminal justice system wasn't going to do it for us. So she'll be able to help us do it from the other side. But thank you so much. I just wanted to share my opinion on the difference between white people rioting and black people rioting. White people destroying our property, black people destroying their property. I believe it's a huge difference, and a huge difference with the consequences. Then this guy, Rick Meyer, this little boy who drove all the way to a different state from the state he lived in, who wasn't even legally allowed to have or not even own the gun that he had, and shot with 2 or 3 people. Then he just get off. And then our previous president says he's a good man for him trying to protect a white owned property who I don't even believe he knew the owner didn't know him. Make it make sense. It ain't making sense to me. But thank you for watching. Thank you for liking. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for subscribing. Please subscribe. Thank you so much for subscribing. I love you. I appreciate you. I thank God for you. All is well.